All right, algebra review for patterns and relations. When we're talking about algebra, we're talking about combining like terms or isolating the variable through like terms, and we'll look at that more later. Remember that like terms are variables have variables that are the same, and the coefficients can be different. So if we look at this one, let's talk about what we see here. This one is a variable. This one is also a variable. Constant. Here is a coefficient. And here, even though there's no actual number there, also a coefficient. And the coefficient for this one, because of that minus sign, is -1. Another aspect is distributing the property, where the term outside the brackets is dispersed to the terms inside. So if we have an example like this, we would disperse the property just to this bracket part. So again, you're going to take the term outside the brackets and disperse it. So this is the outside the brackets, goes to this one, and it goes to this one. This is what that looks like. So 7m times m is 7m squared. 7m times 2 is 14m. And then you just write the rest like normal. So now after you have dispersed the property and just brought down the other terms, the next step is to simplify by combining like terms. So I like to stack them up. That's the method I like to use. So 7m squared right there is different from 14m. And then we have -6n and -5n. N's are the same terms. So we stack them underneath each other. And then you have finally this 2m over here. After you've combined them like that, you kind of just like solve for them or simplify for them. Nothing here. So this is 7m squared. This one, 14 plus 2, 16m. Negative and a negative, -11n. And that's it. So do the practice for that day where you're combining like terms. Moving on to solving equations using the balanced method, where you have an algebraic expression like this, algebraic equation like this, x over 4 plus 3 equals 7. So the way we solve is we're going to use like terms to isolate the variable, just like we were talking about at the beginning. So the variable's right here. We're going to try and get that one by itself. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to look at the constant first. How do we get rid of that constant? Well, this constant right now is being added. So the opposite of add is subtract. Try and get rid of the constant. That's our like term. So we're going to subtract 3 from this side and subtract 3. Whatever we do to this side, we do to the other side. Remember, we're always going to line up our equals sign. That keeps us on track. So then we're left with x over 4 equals 4. And then we do the same thing. We're going to do try and get rid of this 4. Right now that 4 is being divided. The opposite operation, multiply. So here we're going to multiply by 4. Whatever you do to this side, do to the other side. And then you write down the answer. Those cancel out. X equals 16. After we have solved for x, we're going to verify an equation using BEDMAS. We're going to verify that x is actually 16. So this is how we do that. Solving this equation, x over 4 plus 3 equals 7. Well, verifying this equation, and x equals 16, because that's what we thought our answer was. The first step to check if that's right is we substitute. So we're going to substitute for x over 4 plus 3 equals 7. So we're going to write 16 over 4 plus 3 equals 7. So using BEDMAS to verify, we're going to go through it. There's no brackets, there's no exponents, there is division. So that's the one we're going to do. So we'll do 16 divided by 4 equals 4. Let's write it out again. Make sure that your equal sign is lined up. The next one is, okay, we did divide. There's no multiply. Addition, yep. Addition would be next. And it's our only operation left anyways. So 4 plus 3, that's 7, equals 7. Same on the left as the right, yep. So 16 is our answer. I hope that answered all of your algebra review questions. If you have more, please email us. See you soon.